We're sitting here with another hip house legend, the legendary White Knight.
White Knight, Chicago hip house legend, one of the creators of hip house, CEO, entrepreneur, business mogul, promoter extraordinaire.
Promoter extraordinaire. He did a promoter extraordinaire, right?
Comma.
Right. I mean, and listen, he said promoter extraordinaire, but listen, people, he's really throwing huge events. He's not just doing the one-off club dates. He's actually hosting concerts. I mean, could you tell them a few of the concerts that you've done?
And a huge list. I mean, we just did the Chicago Old School House Bash, which actually consisted of Steve Hurley, Skip, Fast Eddie, Chicago's true legendary artist on one stage for one night, and basically it was sold out like usual. I was signed to Jive, BMG. I was on Tommy Boy as well. One of the few artists in Chicago who's basically their entire career of making music was on major labels. Well, my major label experience with Jive was great. I was signed by Wayne Williams, who's DJ Wayne Williams. He was my A&R guy.
Big ups to Wayne.
And he was very instrumental in our music going to the major labels because he sought out artists that he felt that could become mainstream. And he went out and signed us and gave us the opportunity to be on the main platform of the world, which is a rare opportunity for many people who spend their entire lives wishing they could be on a major label. It's a great experience. It makes you mature, and you learn a lot about the business being on a major label. I used to hang out with Steve at Steve's house, and at that time he was already a genius producer. And anybody who's smart, can captivate upon him. Walking around with his Casio keyboard. Actually, he had a Poly 800, and that was like the golden machine. And he made hits with this Poly 800. And I used to sit in his room with him and be like, hey, I want to make a record. And I want to sing. Well, if you know anything about White Knight raps. I'm a rapper. I am not a singer. And Steve would make these great tracks, and I would sit there and try to sing. And they would ask me to leave the room because basically I couldn't sing. And I went through a process where it hurt me, and I couldn't sing. And I went home and stuck my head under a pillow a couple of times, and then it kind of matured into the rap artist where my true talent was brought out by Steve, where they gave it to me directly and real. You can't sing. You're a white boy, you can't sing.
Oh, I don't know.
No, and it's not a race thing because these guys have no color boundaries. But basically, I owe a great deal of White Knight success to Steve because if Steve told me I could sing, there wouldn't be no White Knight record ever out in the market. So that's kind of where that goes.
Oh wow! Now just being around a person like Steve and I'm sure Wells Farley and a lot of those guys. I mean, because that was pretty much the group you all were like, good.
Well, it was Steve, myself, Farley, and a couple other people that were there. And for the record, Steve Silk Hurley is the godfather of house music. I was there. I seen him make the first records. He produced the first records. And I'm a witness to that because I was in the background. So that's my statement for the DVD, and I'm endorsing this 100%.
Wow. So you were actually there. I mean, that's something heavy to stand behind and something heavy to endorse, And I mean, you're not just saying that because you're on like this.
No. I mean, the first record was Music is the Key, which blew up. It was huge. I was there with Steve when he was producing the record. And during that phase, he was producing a record for me called Never Give Up. In which I could not sing on. So we ended up producing this record, and we had a lot of people involved in it. I mean, there was Farley and several other people, and I ended up rapping on the B-side. So the record came out. They played the vocal part of it, but one of the first two hip house records were Music is the Key with Steve technically rapping on it, and then the second one was Never Give Up, the B-side. And then Fast Eddie came out, and then White Knight came out, and I don't want to miss Cool Rock Steady because there's only 3 hip house stars: Fast Eddie, White Knight, and Cool Rock Steady. and you know that's where that is. And if you buy the records and you know the market, you know that there's only three of us, and there's only 2 of us left because Cool Rock's no longer with us. So, well, S&S Records is the 1-2 punch. You know, when this DVD comes out, it's just gonna take everything by storm. I want to say that I know that this project is great. It's great for the movement. I think it's gonna bring the music back. It's never went anywhere. You know, it's been bubbling under, and I think that, you know, when you're passing out the gold and platinum plaques, I think that this one's going to be the one, you know, and it wouldn't have happened without S&S Records. Yo, this is White Knight, and you're checking me out live on the Chicago LP DVD. Don't get it twisted, baby. S&S Records, #1 in the world.